Everybody, I have another used book haul for you today. So over the past couple of weeks, I've been to 4 used bookstores and picked up a bunch of stuff for our homeschool or just for my kids' personal reading. So I find it very beneficial to their reading when I have a selection of books on our bookshelf, because one of my kids in particular very much will just go and pick something that looks interesting, fits her mood at the moment. So while we do use the library a ton, we're there multiple times a week, I still find it really helpful to have a good, strong home library. And yeah, so that's what some of these are. And then again, some of them are just for our homeschool. So I've been to Half Price Books, a local used bookstore, and then a Goodwill bookstore. When I shop at Half Price Books, I stick mostly to the clearance section. So all of the books I got from Half Price Books most of them were $2 or $1. I think I have a couple that were a little bit more. And then the Goodwill bookstore, most of the stuff is $1.49. There are a couple, I think, that were a little more. And then the local used bookstore things were a little bit more expensive. But at any rate, I will stop talking and start showing you the books. And they're all mixed up. I don't think they're divided by where I got them anymore. So I grabbed a copy of Wish Tree by Catherine Applegate. My friend is using this as a family read with her family, and she was telling me about what she was doing, and I thought it sounded really interesting. And so I wanted to look into it, and when I started reading the book, I thought I could really tie this into our family history study that we're going to be doing. So yeah, I want to plan a unit around it too. Anyway, so I saw this at the used bookstore for $4 and went ahead and grabbed it. This one also from the used bookstore, my son saw this and asked if he could get this for his school next year, because he's doing medieval times in history. And so I thought that was a reasonable request, so we got that one as well. And then this one I picked up for in the future, because I know we'll do Julius Caesar at some point, and I just liked the look of this book. It's called Shakespeare Made Easy. It was $4, and let's see. So there's all these different activities to do with the play. There's some tests. Gives you an introduction to the play, historical background. Introduction to Shakespeare himself, and then you get into some of the activities. There's little review quizzes. I don't know. I liked it, and I thought it would be good to have. Reading and interpreting Shakespeare is not one of my strengths, so I thought that this might be something good when we get there. All right, these two I picked up at the Goodwill bookstore for $1.49 each. These are going to go in my kids' Easter baskets. They really like these books, and these particular ones looked almost brand new. I guess this one's a little bit more used because the binding's cracked, but it's fine. $1.49 Easter basket. Also at the Goodwill bookstore, my son saw this book, and he read the first Gregor book in Hearth and Story this year, and he really, really loved it. So he's been wanting to get the second book. He's had it on his wish list, and so we found it there for $1.49. This is one I also grabbed at the Goodwill bookstore for $1.49 possibly for my daughter to read next year as part of history. We have the first one in the series, and now I can't remember what it's called. Did I list the series in here? But I think that I like the topic of these for history, but I think the reading level might be a bit easy, so I might just have her read a few in the series. Why can't I think of what the series is called? The Birch Bark House, I think. Yes. So anyway, for $1.40, oh, it says it right there. If only I'd read. Anyway, that's what that's for. I picked up Holes because neither of my kids have read it, and I want to do a unit around it, I think. So for $1.49, that's good to have on the shelf. I picked up Mouse by Art Spiegelman, and this is the first one. I would like to have my kids read this in high school. I didn't read this until college, but how much was this? $3.94. But I think that we will do this in high school. So I went ahead and grabbed that. I feel like that's a really good price for that. I grabbed A Single Shard by Linda Sue Park. This was on clearance for $2. And this is one I think I would like to have my son read next year when he's doing history. I also picked up this Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman. This one was $4, but this had actually been on my list to get for my daughter for history next year. And it looks like brand new. So $4 was really great for that and saved me a lot of money. I grabbed this. This was $3, and I got, for my son for Christmas, I got him the chemistry, the high school chemistry, and he loves that thing. This one is the complete middle school guide to everything you need to ace science in one big fat notebook. He's so into science, but I really thought both of my kids, my daughter who's actually in middle school and my son, could get some use out of this for $3. I thought that was a great price. And then I also grabbed this Eyewitness book. I'm still up in the air as to what we're doing for science next year, but this would fit really well with one of our options. And I figured even if we don't do that, again, my son would find this fascinating. So that was $4. All right, at the Goodwill bookstore, my kids each got to pick out a couple books. They had to do a lot of testing this week, and we were finally finished. And so, yeah, they got to pick some books out. So my son picked this one, Dog Diaries. He really likes dogs. So, and he has at least one or two others in this series and likes them. So this was $1.49. This, actually I have 2 copies. Again, I want to plan a unit around this. And so this one I picked up at Half Price Books. Again, I think it was $2. And then this copy I found at Goodwill, at the Goodwill bookstore yesterday, and it was only $1.49. So, and this one looks like brand new. But I want to do this as a group read, so I think. So having more than one copy would be really good. All right, I got How to Draw All the Animals. This is something that has been in and out of my Amazon cart many times, and they had it for $1.49. And it's just all different animals, drawing all different animals. All right, this one I had to get because this was my favorite book when I was younger. I probably read my copy at least 20 times. And somewhere I probably still have it, but I have no idea where. And anyway, it was on clearance. This is Just as Long as We're Together by Judy Blume. There's a sequel called Here's to You, Rachel Robinson. Anyway, they had this for $2. My daughter's at the perfect age for this, so I grabbed that for her. She's not as excited to read it as I am for her to read it, but it's fine. Also, this is a book that has been on my list that I think my kids would like, called Arusha and the End of Time. Again, it was on clearance for $2. And it's in really good condition, so grab that to put on our shelf. Same with this one, Pax. I think both of my kids would actually really like this, by Sarah Pennypacker and illustrated by John Klassen. Again, $2. Again, it looks brand new, so we grabbed that one. This is one that I thought looked good that I would like to read. I don't know if my kids will want to read it or not. And I wasn't sure if I already had this one because I know I have at least one by this author. So hopefully I don't already have this one, but it was $2. And who's the author? Linda Wolk, I think. Yeah. I know I have Wolf Hollow. Oh, and we have Beyond the Bright Sea as well, which we have not read. But this says, After losing almost everything in the Great Depression, Ellie's family is forced to leave their home in town and start over in the untamed wilderness of nearby Echo Mountain. Ellie has found a welcome freedom and a love of the natural world in her new life on the mountain. But there is little joy after a terrible accident leaves her father in a coma, an accident unfairly blamed on Ellie. Ellie is a girl who takes matters into her own hands, and determined to help her father, she will make her way to the top of the mountain in search of the healing secrets of a woman known only as the Hag. But the Hag and the mountain still have many untold stories left to reveal. Historical fiction at its finest, celebration of finding your own path and becoming your truest self. I thought it sounded good. And again, it looks brand new. My son asked to get this one. I think it was $2 as well. He just really likes reading about George Washington. Okay, popping in because I forgot to include this one. I picked this up at the Goodwill bookstore. It was $1.49, and I've been wanting to try out these like novel study, these great works, and this is a book that I think we could definitely do. So I grabbed that for us in the future. And both my kids really like this You Choose History series, and this was one that they didn't have, and again, it was on clearance for $2. And same with this one, on clearance for $2, The Ultimate Builder's Guide in Minecraft. They felt like this would be very useful to them, so we went ahead and grabbed that. They actually had the whole series, but I didn't show them that. I just showed them one. And then this I grabbed for a gift. It was only $1, and I was going to buy it anyway. So this one looks brand new, and it was only $1. So that is everything in my used book haul. Is it excessive? For some it might be, but I truly believe that our libraries are currently at risk right now. And I don't ever want to be without books. So there you go. That's what I have. If you have any questions, if you've read any of these and loved them, let me know. If you've read any of them and hated them, let me know. I'll talk to you down in the comments.